I wish she hadn't done it. I don't think white people should be using that word, at least not publicly. What you do behind closed doors is your business. But I mean, it just never ends well. It just never ends well. This is Dee with Pretty and Things. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Well guys, I'm going to get right into this video. This is sort of my thoughts on the Kathleen Lights, Jaclyn Hill N-word controversy. This stuff has been popping up on YouTube for the last few days, and I got to weigh in on this. So if you're not familiar, and how can you not be familiar, but in case you are not, Kathleen Lights and Jaclyn Hill got together socially, their husbands, at I believe Jaclyn Hill's house, because they were going to do a collaboration together at some point. And so they were just hanging out, drinking heavily, and just having fun playing video games. Kathleen Lights is a YouTuber, and a very popular, kind of squeaky clean YouTuber. Apparently, I didn't know who she was prior to this. And she was sitting on Jaclyn Hill's couch playing a video game, and it's the kind when you put over your face. I have one of those, like the Gear VR, where it's like, I don't want to say 3D, but it's like, it makes it feel that you're like there in the action. So, Jaclyn Hill was like cracking up at her reaction to the VR gear and everything. And while playing this game, Kathleen Light uttered the N-word. After saying that word, Kathleen's husband, who was there with her, told Jaclyn, you gotta delete that, or don't broadcast that, don't upload that. Apparently Jaclyn Hill did not hear him, and she Snapchatted this whole visit with Kathleen Lights, and the internet, Snapchat went up in arms. People were contacting her within 25 minutes. I mean, everything hit the fan, and she deleted that Snapchat. But of course, the damage was done. So at this point, Kathleen Lights is being branded a racist. People are debating about the context, and people are especially going in on Jaclyn Hill. They're wondering, was this a setup? Did she do this to damage Kathleen Lights, reputation, etc., etc., etc. Beauty guru drama at its finest. So, and of course, what is a beauty guru makeup drama without Jeffree Star chiming in? So let me get into it. Just my thoughts right quick. First of all, I'm going to take it one by one. Kathleen Lights. As I said previously, I don't know who this chick is. I've never seen her videos before, never heard of her prior to this incident. But having seen the video of this incident and what she said, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I do not believe it was said in a racial way. The N-word is in every, and if you're a fan of, say, of urban music, hip-hop, rap music, they say it every other word, as you know. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. And the way she said it, she was playing the game, and she was like, basically, ninja, don't F with me. She was saying it like if you're playing a game, like, dude, don't mess with me, like that. It wasn't said towards anybody, directed at anybody. It wasn't in the context of racism, in comparison to, say, what Jeffree Star said 12 years ago. That was a racist statement. There's no way around it. That's what it was. There's no sugarcoating it, and there's no denying it. Also, you guys, for me personally, there is a difference between this word and that word, okay? Jeffree Star said that word, she did not, and for me there is a difference, and the context is completely different. So, do I think she is a racist? I don't know, but do I think that she made a racist comment necessarily. No, I don't. I was not personally offended by it. I was uncomfortable by hearing her say that. I was like, ooh, it was cringeworthy. Because I don't think white people should be saying that word straight up. But by the same token, let's say if you're a fan of urban music and rap, and they say it every, we know it's in every song. If you're just singing a song, what do? Do you like edit yourself? I'm just curious about that. Like, I was playing tennis yesterday, and it was at a high school, and I came out, and there's this, young white guy who's on the football team. He was there in his car, had his rap music blasting, and it was saying that word, the N-word, every other word, and I was like, and I think it's nice the way hip-hop has brought, the races together. It really has bridged a lot of gaps. But if you're just singing a song, if you're a person not of color, what do? Do you just not say that around your black friends? Do you ask them, is it okay? Do you, in the privacy of your home, certainly you say it. So, I think it brings up an interesting debate. That said, I do not think she said it in an offensive manner. I just think she, I do not think Kathleen Lights said that word in an offensive manner. I wasn't particularly offended by it. I was very uncomfortable by it. That said, I do have to call her out on the notion that she's never said this before. Apparently she tweeted an apology, or I don't know if it was on Instagram, Twitter, or Snap. No, I think it was Twitter. She tweeted an apology saying that she doesn't know what came over her, that she never used that word before. I don't buy that for 1 second. That word rolled off her tongue way too easily for anybody to believe she had never used that word before. If you came to my house and I'm here with my friends, or I'm kicking it with my friends and somebody recorded me, you would never hear that word come out of my mouth. Why? Because I don't use it. I don't really use that, not in a social setting like that, and I got the pass, obviously. I don't use that word. So, when you're drinking and you're comfortable and you're having a good time, you talk the way you normally talk because your guard is down and you're just yourself. So I don't buy for 1 second that that's a word she'd never used before. When her husband said, hey, don't post that, he didn't express any shock like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. He knew what that word meant potentially to her, and that's why he said, don't post that. So I wish she hadn't done it. I don't think white people should be using that word, at least not publicly. What you do behind closed doors is your business. But, it just never ends well. It just never ends well. So, on to Jaclyn Hill. Now, I find it curious that in all this mess, people seem to be much more upset with Jaclyn Hill for basically exposing Kathleen Lights than they are with Kathleen for actually using the word. Now, I obviously know who Jaclyn Hill is. I have her Champagne Pop, highlighter, which I adore, but she's not a beauty guru that I follow. I think I am subscribed to her, but I can't tell you a video, anything like that. Maybe over the years I've seen one or two, but she's not one that I really follow. When I want to see what a new foundation shade is, I go to Makeup Doll, or someone who looks like me, who wears it in my shade. I follow all YouTubers of all races now. I'm not saying that, but she's not one that I've ever really been into. So I just think it's interesting how people have just really come for her and not even giving her the benefit of the doubt. She released I think it was another Snapchat saying, apologizing, saying how horrible she felt about exposing Kathleen Lights, that it was not intentional, that she did not hear her husband say, delete that or don't post that, because she was so busy laughing and all of that. But what I find curious, and no one else has sort of mentioned this, is this. Jaclyn Hill said she did not hear Kathleen's husband say, don't post that. But did she hear her say the word? Did she hear her say the N-word? Because if she heard her say the N-word, that should have triggered her right there, like, oops, we got it, I'm not gonna, stop right there. So that's what is kind of murky for me. The fact that she said this word loud and proud, big and bold and shit, and nobody flinched. That's why I don't buy the notion of, I can't believe, no, I've never said that before. There were 4 people in that room, and she said that N-word, and none of them flinched. The only person who said something with regards to it was Kathleen's husband, saying basically, delete that. Not, I'm shocked that you said that, I can't believe you just said that. What did you just say? None of that. So, hearing Kathleen say that word did not trigger any sort of call to action from Jaclyn Hill. That's what I'm curious about. Because, I mean, if you heard that word alone should have been like, oh, red flag, red flag, red flag. That said, do I necessarily believe that Jaclyn Hill was trying to destroy Kathleen Lights and damage her credibility? Absolutely not. First of all, she would have had to have known Kathleen was going to say something like that, and she didn't. I mean, how could she have known? It was such a, she didn't know. I mean, obviously, Kathleen Lights has to be held accountable for her own words. She knew that Jaclyn Hill was Snapchatting her. It's not like she didn't know. And that word came out of her mouth. So while I do believe it was not intentional on Jaclyn Hill's part, things happen. And let's say for the sake of conversation, Jaclyn Hill did, do this maliciously. Kathleen Lights gave her the ammunition. She gave her what she needed in order to damage her brand and her credibility by saying the word itself. So I don't necessarily think that Jaclyn Hill did it intentionally. Who knows? I just find it curious that she's such a big and popular YouTuber that she's not being given the benefit of the doubt. So I don't know what the history is there. I would love to hear your comments and read your comments below as to what your thoughts are on Jaclyn Hill and why she seems to be so disliked. She has so many followers, but I don't know, I'm just surprised that everyone's going in on her and immediately going for the jugular and believing that she did this purposely, and I'm just curious as to why. Last but not least, Jeffree Star. You know what, guys? You would think that any controversy involving the N-word, Jeffree Star would steer clear up. When this came up, you would think Jeffree Star would be like, what? The N-word controversy? Beauty guru? Oh, good. They're not talking about me. Kathleen Lights? Good. They're not talking about me. You would think he would be happy they're not talking about him in this context anymore. And he would distance himself from any controversy of this nature. But of course, messy Jeffree made he tweeted a comment regarding the issue, stating that how inappropriate, how wrong it was to post a video when you were told not to do so, clearly directed at Jaclyn Hill, and she responded like, obviously that was directed at me, and the crazy thing is, I thought they were friends. I thought Jeffree and Jaclyn Hill were supposed to be friends, y'all. So I don't know. I just feel like Jeffree, you always got your fingers in the pot. I find Jeffree Star very entertaining. What he said 12 years ago was vicious and racist. He did apologize for it. I've chosen to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, I'm going to accept your apology this time. But if anything ever pops off again, that's it. You don't get another strike with me. That's it. But I just find it interesting that he, of all controversies, that he would want to stick his finger in the pot of this one, especially involving the N-word, given his history and the backlash he received just a couple weeks ago with the whole Kim Kardashian, KKW situation. This is just a couple weeks ago, Jeffree, and you are in the middle of something that doesn't even involve you, involving this word and a very big controversy. I just don't understand why he wouldn't steer clear. But Jeffree gets in the mix. He's not afraid to get in the mix. He is who he is, and I guess that's fine. But I think that you know, going forward, Jeffree, you need to distance yourself from any controversy involving the N-word in particular. You are very thin ice, baby. You need to know this. People have a very dim view of you. I've given you the benefit of the doubt, but you just need to chill when it comes to stuff like this, because you're always in the mix, Jeffree. You are always in the mix. So, yeah, guys, I think that's it. That's all I have to say on this. I just think, you know, people need to be very, very conscious and cognizant of what they do. I've never even been on Snapchat. I'm keeping real with you guys. I've never even used Snapchat. I'm thinking about actually doing it, but you have to be very careful in life about who you kick it with, who you call your friend, and the things you say, and the position you put yourself in. At the end of the day, if Kathleen Light had not uttered those words, Jaclyn Hill would not have had anything to upload or post or create a controversy with in order to damage her reputation, if in fact that was her intent. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear your comments below. This is a trip. It's crazy. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents. That's it, guys. I hope you like this video. Please comment below. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me, you guys. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, so until next time, you guys. Mwah.